assembly theory is a very simple theory that makes lots of people kind of like happy because it's so obvious, and lots of other people angry because it's so obvious that it can't possibly be right. And all assembly theory says at its core is to say, hey, causation is fundamental. That's it. It doesn't say anything else. And what it says is like when you see a complex object on its own, you don't know anything about its history. Like you just say you get beamed into Alpha Centauri. Let's just say you're in Star Trek, Robinson, and you're like there, and Captain Kirk says, just go down to the surface of the planet. You're like, okay. And you go down and someone gives you a complex object. You're like, oh, that's cool. And there's 1,000 of them. You're like, oh, was this made by a life form, or was it randomly created by the laws of physics? And if the number of different parts in the object is high enough, such that random chance can put them together, and the number is large enough, then you will know for sure that it was created by evolutional technology. And that's all assembly theory does. And when Sarah and I kind of invented this theory, we put it out there, the entire universe kind of fell out with us, as it were, all the humans. And they're like, complexity exists. I was like, really? What complexity? And people have been misunderstanding complexity, evolution, and assembly for the last 100 years. Before Freeman Dyson died, I wrote to Freeman, actually, and told him about some stuff I was working on with metal oxides and self-replication. He loved it. And I then I start off with conversation with Freeman. That's cool. He's a hero. So I then wrote back to him and said, I've got this new idea for complexity. And he wrote back, Dr. Cronin, do not try and work on complexity. It is not worth working on. And for the last 50 years, people have been working on complexity, and all they've found out is that there is no complexity. It's just people being silly or something to that extent. And I was like a bit sad because actually I don't think Freeman is indeed correct. What assembly just says is like, look, if I give you an object, can you somehow interrogate that object to work out how long it took to make it in a kind of like in a kind of no technology environment, just randomly? And number two, how many of those objects can you find in your surroundings? Because if let's take this. If you take this object, we've got this microprocessor here. I can take the part out. I'll do it. I'll take the part out. This is the cartridge I've taken out of this thing, right? To plug in. It's really quite intricate. There's lots of things that clearly have been manufactured. That didn't randomly form, right? But the average physicist would say, hey, there's a probability this could form randomly. And I always tell the average physicist the probability of this forming randomly is precisely 0, not small, 0. And assembly theory just basically explains that. And we really are then able to build a new understanding of what is going on in our physical universe rather than being deluded by probability in physics, which is not correct.